Hello everybody, welcome back to Shaw Racing Collects, where today we have another video.
We have part 2 of the big purchase I made from TCDB.
And a YouTuber on top.
As well as a YouTuber. But first, one of the things that we love to do for you all, one of the things you hate to listen from us, but we do it anyway.
I agree with the second, disagree with the first.
There you go, you disagree all you want, but we're going to keep doing it because that's what we do. We have AJ Shaw singing Mail Day, Mail Day,
Mail Day, Mail Day, Mail Day, Mail Day, Mail Day, Mail Day.
I'm too tired for this
Mail Day,
morning.
Mail Day, Mail Day,
but we have to do this anyway.
Mail Day, Mail Day,
I'm barely up, can't think right, and I sound like a dying mice.
Mail Day,
Mail Day,
Mail Day,
Mail Day. A dying mice?
You do know that that's plural, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Okay. Well, you said a dying mice. So it's like a singular plural. So today, we have an awesome Christmas present, PIF, from Goody G. Goody G is 262 subscribers, 57 videos. Goody G is a huge Cardmunity supporter. He does mostly baseball on his channel. But he is on everybody's channel. He supports everybody in the Cardmunity. He's gotten into our video, our breaks. He gets into Mike's, Beast, Firestarter breaks, Don't Talk to Robots. Anybody and everybody on YouTube that does content, Goody G is always there supporting them. So please go sub him up, support him back. It's a lot of fun. He does some really good videos. He does a lot of TTMs and stuff. Hopefully he's going to film some of the TTMs he got. He's always showing them on Discord, and he's got some really, really good stuff. So go sub up to Goody. You won't be sorry. So let's see what Goody sent us.
He sent us this.
He sent us this. He sent us a piece of paper. That's protection. Protection's always good. And inside we have
Another piece of paper.
A note.
Holidays. Merry holidays.
Yep.
Jeff Shaw. I don't know that guy. He's just pretty weird.
Hey.
I hope you and your family have a great and happy holiday season. I hope you enjoy these cards. I get the TTM.
I got the TTM.
Okay. I got the TTM few years ago, and I know you will enjoy it more than me. Your friend, Goody.
That is awesome. Thank you, Goody. We appreciate that.
Is there two of them in here?
There's 2 cards, yep. And they are
Okay. Buck Baker. And our TTM is
Bakers. And you got a TTM of Mr. October,
Harry Game.
That is awesome because I know I have it on a hero card, but I do not have it on a card. And that is awesome. He was one of my favorites. He was such an awesome driver. Never won a championship, but he's still one of the best there is, as far as I'm concerned, that put on a racing suit. That is awesome. Thank you so much, Goody. We really appreciate that. So everybody go sub up to Goody, and let's get into more of the purchase I got. These are all 70s and 80s cards. He made a heck of a deal for me, so I couldn't say no. It finishes off a couple sets and gets a lot of them a lot closer anyway. They're going to be, I'm pretty sure they're pretty much all going to go into a binder now. And we'll get started whenever AJ's ready.
I don't think I'm going to be ready ever.
You're ready. Come on, you can do it.
No,
you can do it.
Please stop.
Okay.
Paul split off.
Split north.
Marty Patton, Willie Randolph, Rick Cerrone, Rupert Jones, Doug DeCenzies, Tippy Martinez, Rob Pecchio, Matt Karnoff, Lance Parrish, Pat Underwood, Phil Garner, Don Robinson, Steve Nicosia, Don Robinson, Lee Lacey, John Polner, Craig Reynolds, Luis Pujols, Joe Nercrow, Yaquan Anyahar, Keith Moreland, Bill Verdon, Jim Sundberg, Doc Medich, Al Oliver, Jim Norris, Doug Flynn, Tom Hossman, Pete Falcone, Tom Hossman, Elliot Maddox, Mike Squires, Marvis Foley, Steve Trout, Wayne Nordach, Bruce Boccia, Bake McBride, Tom Peiserick, Connie Lansford, Brian Downing, Dallas Green, Dave Lopes, Jerry Rose, Rick Sutcliffe, Ron Oyster, George Hendrick, John Lemaster, John Montfusco, Dave Bristol, Jorge Orta, Wayne Garland, Miguel Dion, Dave Garcia, Don Money, Buck Martinez, Jim Slayton, Doyle Alexander, Tony Benazard, Scott Sanderson, Dick Williams, Greg Burleson, Gary Allenson, Bob Stanley, Dwight Evans, UL Washington, Larry Gura, Rich Gale, Hal McRae, Jim Frey, Bucky Dent, Ron Davis, Bobby Brown, Mike Davis, Steve Stone, Bill Buckner, Ivan DeJesus, Cliff Johnson, Larry Milburn, John Castino, Dave Roberts, Mike Cubbage, Rob Wilfern, Danny Goodwin, Jose Morales, Mickey Rivers, Mike Edwards, Len Sakata, Gene Michael, Dave Roberts, Steve Dillard, Jim Essayan, Rance Mulnix, Daryl Porter, Bill Travers, Nelson Norman, Bob McClure, Kiko Garcia, Larry Bittner, Willie Norwood, Bo Diaz, Juan Beniquez, Scott Thompson, Joe Alfetano, Preston Hanna, Mickey Hatcher, John Gurl, Dick Davis, Butch Weiniger, Jerry Koosman, Dennis Martinez, Gary Thomason, Steve Macco, Bert Hooten, Bill Stein, Bob Pate, Doug Corbett, Darrell Jackson, Roger Erickson, Eric Tidrow, Dave Ford, Dave Kingman, Dan Stanhouse, Barry Foote, Tim Blackwell, Rick Russell, Lance McGaughan, Bob Ochinko, Ken Landreau, Glenn Adams, got a Bobby Clark, Dennis Lamp, Randy Lurch, Ron LaFleur, and we got a Bill Castro.
Awesome first pile. Next pile. These are all 81 done, Ross. So far.
Mark Little, Randy Hassler, Dave Steeb, Ken Obergefell, Larry Bradford, Bill Claudel, Dan Capella, George Riley, Willie Hernandez, Rick Sofield, Gary Ward, Mike Brawley, Tommy Boggs, Greg Gross, Ella Sosa, Pat Kelly, Jack List,
Let's go.
Bob Boone, UL Washington, Tommy John, Bobby Brown, Dennis Worth, Joe Lefebvre, Doug Bird, Mike Griffin, Dusty Baker, Jerry Rouse, Don Stanhouse, Dave Goltz, Gary Weiss, Pepe Freyas, Larry Parrish, Roland Office, Bill Gillickson, John Tamargo, Chris Spire, bless me,
Bless you.
Bill Lee, Fred Norman, Jerry White, Gary Ronick, Dan Graham, Doug DeCinzes, Ray Knight, Ken Griffey, Dave Collins, Junior Kennedy, Frank Pastor, Hector Cruz, Paul Moscow, Harry Spillman, Joe Price, Tom Hume, Joe Nolan, George Foster, Paul Householder, Ron Oyster, Sam Mahias, Shelton Burnside, Rick Burleson, Tom Bergmeyer, Don Zimmer, Steve Runcrow, Mike Torres, Bob Stanley, Jim Dwyer, Dave Stapleton, Glenn Hoffman, Jerry Remy, Dick Drago, Paul Naircrow, Bob Horner, Rick Camp, Bruce Benedict, Gene Garber, Chris Chambliss, Bill Lahordry, Doyle Alexander, Brian Astein, Charlie Spikes, Rick Matula, Preston Hanna, Rafael Ramirez, Larry McWilliams, Carney Lansford, Don Baylor, Dan Ford, Dave Frost, Frank Tanana, Jason Thompson, Rick Miller, Bert Campaneris, Tom Donoret, Fred Paquette, Bruce Kisson, Fredo Martinez, Larry Harlow.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, now we get into some Fleer. Oh, you already did some Fleer, but we're going to get into more Fleer.
Yep. Andy Hassler, Bill Buckner, Rick Roussel, Steve Dillard, Dick Tidrow, Randy Martz, Lynn McGoughlin, Tim Blackwell, Dennis Lamp, Carlos Lascano, Jim Tracy, Doug Capilia, Lee Hernandez, Larry Bittner, Alex Trevino, Craig Swan, Frank Tavares, Steve Henderson, Mike Jorgensen, Joe Torre, Ray Burris, Claudel Washington, Doug Flynn, Joel Youngblood, Tom Houseman, Dan Norman, Jerry Morales, Francisco Barrios, Chet Lemon, Bruce Kim, Jim Morrison, The Doors, Mike Prawley,
Yep.
Greg Pryor, Phil Gardner, Don Robinson, Chuck Tanner, Jim Rooker, Dale Barra, Jim Givey, Bill Robinson, Lee Lacey, John Candelaria, Manny Seguin, Rick Roden, Grant Jackson, Tim Foley, Eddie Sullivan, Enrique Romo, John Milner, Tom Varez, Miguel Dillon, Dan Spillner, Sid Mong, Rick Waits, Gary Alexander, Mike Paxton, Russ Grimsley, Len Barker, Darrell Evans, Renee Stennett, John Montefusco, John Wolford, Mark Venable, Alan Holland, Alan Ripley, Tom Griffin, Alan Hargensmeyer, Dave Rosema, Milt Wilcox, Lance Parrish, Dan Petrie, Pat Underwood, Rick Peters, John Wolkenfos, Tom Brookins, Richie Hebner, Jim Lenton, Bruce Robbins, Mark Wagner,
Wagner? Right.
Tim Corcoran, Dan Schatzeder, Rolly Fingers, Gene Richards, Randy Jones, Steve Murrah, Broderick Perkins, Luis Salazar, Mike Armstrong, Dennis Kenny, Willie Montes, Bill Castro, Bob McClure, Charlie Moore, Reggie Cleveland, Don Money, Billy Travers, Buck Martinez, Dick Davis, Gary Templeton, Ken Wrights.
Dick Davis sounds like a Marvel name.
What?
Dick Davis. Sounds like a Marvel name.
Sounds like a detective for a really bad movie.
In Marvel. Because Marvel always has the same letters.
No, Steve Rogers, Tony Stark,
Well, most of the time.
Thor Odinson, Natasha Romanoff.
Okay. Zip it.
Clint Barton.
I was about to say that
So
actually.
it's just basically just the Avengers that aren't. That's all the Avengers.
Peter Quill.
Johnny Storm, Ben Grimm. Exactly.
Would you like me to start naming the ones that are?
No.
Reed Richards, Sue Storm, Tony
Reed
Scott,
Wilson,
Pete Parker, Ben Riley,
Jonah Jameson.
Tony Scott, Ken Oberkirfield, Nick Fury,
Fury.
Keith Smith, John Littlefield, Bob Forsh, Mike Phillips, Terry Landrum, Howard Duck, Boom,
Howard Duck.
Cosmo the Dog, Dan Org, Groot.
Groot. Yeah, but his name is Groot.
No, it's just I am Groot.
I am Groot.
Jude Koosman, Ken Landreau, Ego, John Castino, Ron Jackson, Hoskin Powell, Mantis, Nebula, Roger Erickson, Yondu, Rick Sofield. Okay, I'm gonna stop saying them because I win, you lose.
No, you don't.
Pete McCann. No, I win. Mike Cabbage, Daryl Jackson, Rob Wolfong, Sal Butter, Jose Morales, Rick Langford, Jeff Newman, Bob Lacey, Brian Kingman, Mitchell Page, Billy Martin, Rob Picilio, Mike Heath, Mickey Klutz, Orlando Gonzalez, Mike Davis, Wayne Gross, Matt Cano, Steve McCarty, Dwayne Murphy, Mario Guerrero, Dave McKay, Jim Isian, Juan Beniquez, Floyd Bannister, Bruce Boccia, Larry Cox, Bill Stein, Dave Roberts, Leon Roberts, Dave Edler, Larry Milburn, Kim Allen, Mario Mendoza, Tom Pyshorek, close enough, Glenn Abbott, Joe Simpson, Mickey Rivers, Jim Kern, Jim Sundberg, John Matlack, Pat Corielis,
Corrales, yeah.
Doc Medich, Bump Wills, Pat Ham, Danny Darwin, John Butcher, Billy Sample, Phillies checklist, Astros checklist, Dodgers checklist. This is Orioles, Angels, Mets, and then we got the Pirates checklist, Willie Wilson, Brewers checklist, Twins checklist, Mariners checklist, Larry Parrish, Cliff Johnson, Ron Oyster, Danny Darwin, Enrique Romo,
You had a Cliff Johnson. You forgot Cliff. These are really nice shape cards. Really, really good shape.
They're 1981.
Yeah, 81
Tops.
or the tops.
They're
Oh,
the
okay.
tops.
Nice. In really good shape.
Oh,
We got a Bob Babcock, John Butcher, and Jerry Don Gleaton for the Rangers. Bill Robinson, Ivan DeJesus, Buck Martinez, Scott McGregor, Rene Castro, Tim Ireland, and Mike Jones on the Royals. Al Alder, Barry Evans, Mario Mendoza for the Mariners, Dave Stapleton, Mike Prawley for the White Sox, Wayne Gross for the A's, Rick Camp for the Braves, David Tobick for the Tigers, Roy Smiley for the Twins, Gary Allenson for the Red Sox, Alan Ripley for the Giants, Bobby Castillo for the Dodgers, Claudel Washington for the Mets.
Nice. You got 3 stacks left.
I don't know why I'm saying their names, but
I don't know.
I mean
That's
their
okay.
teams. But
You do you, boo.
don't call me Boo.
Okay. Boo boo.
I ain't your Boo Boo either.
You're my baby boy.
Zod, is this zoomed out all the way?
I haven't zoomed yet.
Okay, well I gotta move puck down.
Okay.
We got Brian Doyle, Bump Wills, Rudy May, Jim Dwyer, Wayne Nordhagen, Bill Gillickson, Dickie Thon, Rich Hebner, Pat Zachary, Fred Martinez.
Checklist.
Yes, go.
Yes, go.
Yes.
Oh, you're
Ken
really
Forsh.
crooked. You're really crooked there.
No, I'm not.
Really?
I'm crooked a little bit. There you go. I just had to hit it. Not even a little bit. Dan Spillner, Billy Sample, Bill Nahordry, Elliot Maddox, Pat Cano, John Castino. I was about to sneeze, but I didn't. Neil Allen, Jim Morrison from The Doors. The Doors. Leon Jones, Dwayne Murphy, Eric Rasmussen, Frank Tavares, Glenn Hoffman, Greg Nettles, Mike Ramsey, Dickie Knowles, John Bakella, Tom Home, Bob Stanley, John Daquinsto, Rance Milnix, Jerry Rouse, Paul Mitchell, Andy Hassler, Rick Burleson, Dave McKay, Michael Lacoste, Bob Lacey, Mike Venable, Max Venable, Gary Templeton, Pat Putnam, Tim Foley,
Jack and Stars.
Chris Borges, Al Hargmishmeyer, Mike Rolland, Bob Dressler, Dwayne Garland, Richie Zisk, Sam Mahia, Michael Colburn, Danny Goodwin, Steve Garvey, Paul Moscow, Gary Mumphrey, Ken Singleton, Tony Perez, Craig Pryor, Dwayne Cooper, Louise Taint, Vern Rule, Doyle Alexander, Bill Bonham, Bill Stein,
Now 82 Dunross.
Mike Squires, Bob Knepper, Chris Chambliss, Lee Mazzilli, Julio Cruz, Pete Redfern, Doug Corbett, Joe Simpson, Rusty Staub, Hector Cruz, Enrique Romo, Tim Flannery, Sixto Lascano, Joe Sambito, Wayne Nordhagen, Woody Fryman, Billy Sample, Amos Otis, Pat Cano.
Matt.
What is I seeing? Pat?
Yep.
Toby Hara, Bob Welsh.
Just a bit. There you go.
Dennis Martinez,
Eddie.
Champs Summers, Barry Foote, Orca Manning, Brian Kingman, Jim Kern, Bobby Grich, Bob Forsch, Art Ho, Doyle Alexander, Frank Tavares, Tim Blackwell, Dave Engel, Mario Soto, Russ Baumgartner, Bob Watson.
Okay, second last pile.
Got Dan Quisenberry, Al Oliver, Lamar Hoyt, Cesar Cedeno, Bob Shirley, Gene Garber, Tony Pena, Randy Martz, Richie Zisk, Mike Scott, Lloyd Mosby, Rob Wilfong, Garmin Thomas, Bob Stanley, Lou Pania, Pedro Guerrero, Len Barker, Richard Gale, Wayne Gross, Dr. Medic, Tony Benazard, Bill Ferdin, Dave Bergman, Dick Davis, Pat Senataro, Chuck Tanner, Gene Tennants, Rick Peters, Jerry Remy, Rick Roussel, Steve Howe, Alan Bannister, Rick Langford, Mark Wagner, Ron LaFleur, Dan Arg, Joe Nercrow, Rick Weiss, Jim Bibby, Larry Herndon, Bob Horner, Steve Dillard, Mookie Wilson, Dan Meyer, Jim Anderson, Steve Henderson, Brian Aslenstein, Rod Scurry, Brad Benning, Junior Kennedy, II, Sparky Lyle, Dave Smith, Don Zimmer, Hal McRae, Mike Morris, Dwayne Cooper, Tom Brookins, Moose Haas, Al Collins, Dave Stapleton, Bucky Dent, Ron Say, Jamie Quirk, John Matlock, Larry Christensen, Mike Parrott, Oskin Powell, Tom Home, Dave Revering, Mike Torres, Robert Castillo, Rennie Martin, Wayne Murphy, Rodney Scott, Mickey Rivers, Steve Trout, Jose Cruz, Manny Trillo, Dave Edwards, Tommy Boggs,
Just a bit. Some of these are really off-centered.
Dale Barra, Tom Pasarek, Pat Zachary, John Castillo, Dave Rome, John Tudor, Jerry Mumphrey, Bo Diaz, Jim Spencer, John Milner, Don Ace. You got a Frank LaCourte, Barry Evans, Enos Cabell, Dell Unser, George Foster, Lee Lacey, Ralph Hawk, Bob Alachenko, Chet Lemon, Vern Rule, John Candelaria, Jerry Martin, Tim Hossman, Tom Hossman, Danny Goodwin, Lenny Randall, Bob Baylor, Jerry Morales, Rufino Linares.
Okay, and last pile. Gonna get JR to finish this one off. We got Kent Tukalov, John Urshela, Jerry Maddox, Mike Ramsey, JR's back.
Yeah. Okay, we have an Alan Ashby. We have an Andre Thornton, a Rudy May, Davis Davey Lopez, a Richie Hubner. We have a Mike Caldwell, a Scott McGregor, a Jerry Augustine, a Stan Puppy, a Rick Miller, a Greg Nettles, a Dusty Baker. Oh, he must make some pretty bad food then.
Dusty Baker?
Yeah.
He just won a World Series.
Dave Garcia, a Larry Gura, a Warren Cromartie, a Steve Coomber, a Rick Burleson, a John Martin, a Craig Reynolds, a Mike Porley, a Robert Jones, a Greg Minton, a Rick Humler, a Alex Trevorino, a... You're just putting different haze over my eyes, whether that be
Aurelio Lopez,
blue, red, or white. Oscar Gambel, a Terry Forster, a Joe Charbonneau, a Ken Burt,
Brett,
a Tony Adamas, a Chris Sapier,
Spire, a
Jim Essien, a Greg Gross, a Joe
Dave,
yeah,
Lefebvre, as your brother says.
we have a Bruce Benedict, a Tim Foley, a Al Holland, a Joe Burrows, a Pete Falcone, a Ernie Witt, a Don Money, a Dan Schatzeder, a Gary Allenson, a Daryl Motley, a Dave McKay, a Ken Forsh, a Mariano Mendoza, a Jim Morris, a Mike Ivy, a Daryl Evans, a Ron Reed, Bill Robinson, a Jim Gantner, a Dan Spilliner, a Willie Atkins, a Mike Heath.
Wow. You had to hit the box, did you?
Is there only one puck on here?
Yeah.
I asked why.
I don't know, because your brother only had one. Go ahead and put another one if you want. There you go.
We have a Bully Molero, a Steve Braun, Tug McGraw, a Juan Eckelberger, a Rick Roden, a Eddie Miller, a Larry Anderson, Al Williams, Glenn Adams, Jerry Norrell, a Glenn Hubbard, a Eddie Solomon, a Jeff Leonard, Randy Bass, a Mike LaCrosse, a Mark Little, Elias Sosa, a Willie Wilson, a Fred Stanley, a Tom Verzer, a very miscut Pete Vukovic, John Wukenfus, a Paul Splitteroff, a Rob Poquilio.
Really?
What?
You have to yawn halfway through?
Yes.
Okay.
A Larry Parrish, a Silvio Martinez, a Kiko Garcia, a Bob Boone, Randy Nyman, a Dick Tidwell, a Jim Beadle,
Speedy.
a Mickey Hatcher, Joe Price, Ed Farmer, a Ben Ogilvy, a Kevin Saucier, a Bill Campbell, Wayne Garland, Billy Martin, a Jim Fanning, a Rick Honeycutt, a Denny Walling, a Bake McBride, a Daryl Porter, Gene Richards, Ron Oyster, and a Jason Thompson.
Nice. And with that, that's going to be the video, folks. We want to thank everybody for watching. Please give us a like. If there's something you don't like, give us a dislike. Tell us what we're doing wrong. We'll try to fix it if we can. If we can't, we're sorry. If you want to subscribe, please go ahead and click the button below and ring the bell. If not, that's okay as long as you keep coming back from the fun. We wanted to do a big shout out and thank you to Bengals818821 for the awesome sale he did us, and to Goody G. He's got 262 subscribers, awesome guy, huge Cardmunity supporter. You sub up to him, he'll sub you back, and he will give you all the support you want. So please go give him a sub, and when you do, tell him that the card of the video, Harry Gant. Tell him Harry Gant sent you. That is so awesome. Thank you so much, Goody. That's going to have a special place in my collection for sure. With that, we want to thank everybody for watching, and
have a fucking good day.
thanks, everyone.
Sorry, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.